Well, hey, everybody. It's Betsy here. We're going to be back next week to kick off our annual Decade series with a bunch of brand new episodes. But we do have one more episode we're sharing from our first year of Patreon. This one comes from the Wayback Machine. It's a show where there is a device that sends Trent and I to any year between 1960 and 2010, and we have to watch a movie that was in the theater that month. The episode you're going to be hearing is our third episode of the series where we watched Escape to Witch Mountain, and I'm going to be honest, this was one of our favorite recording experiences in the last 5 years of doing a podcast. If you like this episode, don't forget to go sign up for our Patreon. That's patreon.com/neverseenitpod. At the time this episode is posting, you have got just 2 more days to take advantage of the sale we have running. You can get 40% off your first month. But again, that's only running until the end of June, so don't miss out on that opportunity. So we hope you've enjoyed these episodes this month. Come back next week for a brand new episode of Never Seen It, and we will see you soon. Previously on the Wayback Machine. All right, looking at our little device here, it looks like we have been sent to March of 1975, and we're looking at the marquee here in front of this movie theater.
There's a bunch of kids running around. What's going on here?
Well, it looks like we got a family movie, Trent. Do you want to just pop in here? Because it looks like they're playing the Walt Disney live-action movie, Escape to Witch Mountain.
Escape to Witch Mountain? I thought that came out a lot more recently than 1975.
Well, if you're talking about the remake or the remake of the remake, but this is the original.
Original, okay.
So let's go in and see it. And we're back. We just finished watching Escape to Witch Mountain, 1975. And I think I'm going to go ahead and speak on Trent's behalf that this is the greatest movie Disney has ever made.
You know it's up there. Oh my God, Betsy. What the hell did the Wayback Machine get us into?
You know, before we started, you looked at the description of this movie very, very briefly. And you said to me, literally as the credits are opening, "Are these magical orphans, Betsy?" And then by the time they revealed the plot, I said, "No, Trent, they're magical space orphans."
I mean, okay, we have been talking on our other shows about the fact that we need to delve deeper into 1970s cinema. This is not what I was talking about. And this just tells you that Disney was in a very weird place in the 70s.
Well, and keep in mind, in the 70s, in the 60s and 70s, really, was when they really started pushing a lot more of the live action stuff. Because they were trying to diversify what they were putting out. Because making animated movies by hand was really time consuming and expensive.
And they could only put out so many per year. You know?
Meanwhile, you could make these movies for relatively cheap. Like, this is just a bunch of kids on a soundstage half the time or running up and down the California coast. Like, there's not a lot to this movie. This is probably something they filmed over, a few weeks in the summertime while these kids were out of school.
Yeah. And, you can occupy this like camp and turn it into a weird orphanage with one adult. Did you see any other adults at this place?
No, there is one woman in charge of all the orphans, including one who's a redhead named Truck. His name is Truck, and he's a bully. And people wonder why he would be a bully with a name like Truck. But this is a movie, when it begins, it just kind of goes right into it. It's like, let's play baseball, and he flies 20 feet into the air.
He jumps, Betsy.
He jumps, and all the kids are just like, no one can jump that high. And they proceed to watch him beat up this other boy with a floating baseball glove and a floating baseball bat.
With strings. Betsy, I cannot begin to tell you how many times I noticed all of the strings.
I love watching older movies like this where at the time it looked great and you could not see the strings.
No, because everything was on film. There's nothing digital. And when you're watching it, like if you were to go to the theater like we just did, I mean, I didn't see the strings there, but they're in my mind anyway. Ha ha ha. But man, we said the same thing when we watched The Goonies, and that was made in the 80s.
Yeah,
so it didn't get much better.
Not that many years after this one, Trent.
Yeah.
This movie came out 10 years before we were born.
Yeah.
It's not that old.
No.
For compared to us.
No, and oh man, this is something.
Like I said, the greatest movie that Disney has ever made.
Now, Betsy, before we were transferred back to 1975, you had seen this in your youth? Question mark? What is your history with this movie? Because you've seen it.
I want to say this was one that my uncle like taped off of cable for us.
Okay.
And he would do this. He would just record random things and give us VHS tapes of stuff like from Nickelodeon or
he
Disney.
Was the cool uncle. He knew that you didn't have cable at home.
Yeah, he just did this stuff. And so I have seen this movie. I have also seen the sequel to this movie.
Is it a sequel or is it a remake? Because we already established there were other remakes.
Let me finish.
Oh, no.
There is, in fact, a sequel with the same kids and Betty Davis.
What?
A few years after this, they made Return from Witch Mountain. I have also seen Return from Witch Mountain.
Oh, no.
I have also seen from 1995 the made-for-TV movie Escape to Witch Mountain starring Eric Von Detten, and the very first thing I saw her in, Elizabeth Moss.
Oh, fuck.
Those two were the siblings in 1995.
So made-for-TV movie was like, it was an ABC thing?
Yeah, it was like an ABC Saturday night movie family event.
Oh my God.
And yeah, I'm pretty sure I recorded that off of TV.
Of course.
And I have seen it multiple times. Like when I say I saw Elizabeth Moss show up on Mad Men, my first thought was, that's the girl from Escape to Witch Mountain. Okay, so there's a lot of people like me out there where that's the first thing they saw her from. Now, arguably at the time, Eric Von Detten was much more famous. But
I have
whatever.
no idea who that is.
Oh, if you saw him, you'd recognize him. He's one of those 90s heartthrobs.
Sure.
So, yeah.
He's another Joey Lawrence.
To some extent. Like he was in the Princess Diaries. And then at some point he just sort of disappeared because he's not actually that good of an actor. He was just a
got all that
teenage
Princess
actor.
Diaries money.
Yeah, exactly. But then if you recall, Trent, they did make this movie not that long ago, and it's Race to Witch Mountain, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in the equivalent of the Eddie Albert role, Jason O'Day. So it's the same effective character. It's the guy who helps them get up the mountain.
Have you seen any of the remakes?
I have not seen Race to Witch Mountain.
Okay.
Maybe we're going to have to watch it now that you've seen this one and know what this story is all about.
So I guess let's just talk about the story if we have to.
Oh, we have to, Trent, because these kids, they start off, they just look like normal orphans whose foster parents died tragically.
Like orphans look.
But then the sister keeps having, she keeps staring off into the middle distance and having a memory of floating out in the ocean.
Which I don't know. Of course, at the time, I don't know if we're getting, is she having a premonition of what's going to happen? Is she going to have to change the future? Or if this is actually in the past, it's a flashback.
And they show it enough times that it's just like, how many times do we have to see her trying to piece this together?
Same thing, too.
Yeah, the exact same, like 6 or 7 seconds.
Yeah.
And then it turns into 10 seconds.
And it keeps like fading out and fading back and fading out and fading back.
And meanwhile, we get this developing story that they both have powers. Like she has ESP, She can talk to her
She
brother.
has telekinesis.
He has telekinesis, but he's a lazy telekinetic because he has to use the power of music.
Right.
He has to use his harmonica. And I'm not going to lie, between the two of these, he does not have that many impressive powers compared to his sister.
You call yourself a magical orphan?
I swear to God.
From space?
He literally says, I don't know how to do this without my harmonica.
Yeah, he needs some kind of vessel to concentrate it through.
His energy needs that harmonica. And
you know kids in 1975 and their harmonicas?
Look, I'll give you this. That kid plays a sick harmonica.
He doesn't even have to put it up to his lips.
No, he doesn't. He just covers his mouth to make it look like
And he doesn't
playing.
even need to move it all the way across his mouth either.
Nope. He's very, very good. But it starts to unfold that they have these powers and he's having visions. She says, oh, I hear the dogs. Can you hear the dogs? They're 20 miles away.
Right.
And because she suggests it, once she says it, he suddenly starts having visions of where they're going to go.
Oh, the power of suggestion, Betsy. That is prevalent the entire movie.
Oh, yeah. He can't do anything without her planting the idea first.
Right.
But then one day they're on a little field trip with the other orphans and they go to a movie.
They go to see Snow White at the theater.
She has a vision that this man in a car is about to get something bad is going to happen.
And that's why I kind of thought, hey, she's got the power of premonition.
And that's it. You just thought maybe that's all she can do is ESP and she can see the future or something.
Like this is like a proto-Charmed.
I
know you haven't seen the show
Trent.
Charmed.
But of course, it's Donald Pleasance, who has made an appearance on the main show before.
Yes, I know that name, and I know I've seen him and stuff. He was the bad guy in Dr. No. He was Blofeld.
Yep. And he was also in The Great Escape.
Yeah.
So he has made an appearance on our main show before. He's definitely a familiar face. And she saves his life. A tow truck goes rogue and smashes into the car, and he narrowly gets away from an accident.
Right, and he just so happens to work for a rich, I don't know exactly what to call him. He's a very rich, evil man, because all rich men are evil in movies.
He's an eccentric, rich Brit who is searching for proof that psychic powers exist.
Who lives in a very echoey castle, and he has to yell at his underlings about his wealth because whatever schemes that they're pulling are not growing his wealth, Betsy.
Yeah, he's got people who consult the stars and his psychics, but none of them are the real deal. So he's got a team of goons searching the planet for real psychic proof.
Because the two things that he says later on in the movie, he says, I want you to be able to find me oil, and you want him to predict revolutions.
Yes, because when there is chaos, there's money to be made.
Oh.
That's how evil he is, Trent. He needs to use the children for his evil deeds.
Indeed. He also watches them on hidden cameras. That's the evil portion of this movie.
And there's not a whole lot of plot beyond this. He basically, one of his goons is the guy who almost gets hit by a car. So it's just sort of chance.
Right.
The guy suddenly realizes these kids are the real deal. So they forge a bunch of documents claiming that he is their uncle. And everybody, because it's the 1970s, goes, well, he's got a piece of paper. It must be legit.
Right. It's like, let's just take them away and they are no longer wards of the state.
That's right. We don't give a fuck. Go.
No.
You clearly belong to this man who you've never met. But
I've never been to 1975.
But you just came from there. We're still there, Trent.
But prior to now, yes.
But they say, we know he's not our uncle because they've got sense about them. They can feel it.
And he says to the woman at one point, oh yeah, my sister is the spitting image. Did you look at the sister? Did she bring... Oh.
No, they have forged documents. It's enough.
One old man comes and claims these children as their own. And then there's another old man who tries to check them into a hotel. You know, me and my young companions here going to check into a hotel. There are many problems with this goddamn movie that would not be made today.
It was the 70s, baby. It was weird.
I don't want to stay here anymore,
Things
Betsy.
were fast and loose.
Let's finish this up eventually, and so we can get the fuck out of here. Anyway.
But they get taken in by the evil man, And they figure out pretty quickly that he is an evil man and he's never going to let them escape. Like his evil plot is, well, they know what I'm up to, so I'm going to move them to an island facility that they can never get away from.
Right.
So they say, okay, the time is now. We've got to get out of here. And she's really good at like unlocking doors. So they, in the middle of the night, make their getaway.
But of course, Betsy, why would they want to leave this place? Because they've made these really cool rooms for them.
Yeah.
One is very, very pink, and the other one is, I don't know, another one. And they have a fucking soda fountain in there. They have a place for their cat that they just happened upon.
They are sad little orphans whose dreams have just come true.
Exactly. You're given ice cream. Betsy, the biggest thing in the world when you're that age is getting ice cream.
It really is. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Unlimited amounts of ice cream. And what do these children do with this information, Trent? They say, something's wrong here. Something's bad, and I want to go home.
Right. Like things are like we've gotten everything that we ever wanted, but things are askew. I don't really like this.
Something's wrong about this whole situation.
Right. Like there's a sense there that they've known nothing but squalor, but the idea of them like having a cushioned mattress and a feather pillow and shit like that it's way too much. It's too much for us.
Which is funny because at no point have they ever said they came from squalor. They had like really nice foster parents, but nobody explains how they both died.
Right.
Like I'm sorry, both of your foster parents are dead?
Yeah.
You said, you made the joke, you're like, they have killed and they will kill
They will
again.
kill again. And like they have the ability to influence these adults' minds. It's like, okay, you found us out. You need to go to bed. You are clearly tired. You need to go to bed. Take yourself to bed.
You're right. I think I will. And he gets up and he goes to bed.
Right, but no, he doesn't. He just goes out into the hallway and he sends the other bald man out there and it wears off and they start talking to each other again about the scheme.
There are some inconsistencies with what their abilities are and how powerful they are.
Again, you call yourself special space orphans with powers?
Yeah, you're telling
suck.
I'm sorry, you're telling me that you have the power to influence human minds to make them do what you want.
Right.
But instead of using this ability, you're going to like attack the sheriff with a coat that comes to life. And you're going to like let bears loose in the woods.
But she also picks up that goddamn gun and cocks it.
She definitely
threatening those men.
You said they'd kill again. She had her opportunity and didn't take it.
At least, shoot them in the leg or something.
Yeah, maim them. Like use that bear to your advantage.
Let them know you mean business.
Yeah. Yeah, but she doesn't. So this is the whole plot, though. They escape from this place. They smuggle themselves into a passing Winnebago, and then it's just
Jason.
It's just a pursuit. The rich guy, the evil guys, all of their goons are out after these kids. They've got the cops in their pocket. They're setting up roadblocks.
Yeah, they get the sheriff involved, and then the sheriff is attacked, and then the sheriff brings in the locals with all of their rifles, and they're putting together a hunting party to go and shoot these children.
No, Trent.
These witches.
These witches. The grown men know what they saw. And they believe these children to be witches, and so they have to do a witch hunt.
Just now, Betsy, I had a flashback to when we watched E.T. for the first time.
Uh-huh.
When all of those men were going after these kids, like chasing these kids with guns.
I mean, that movie and this movie were not made that far apart. But yeah, like I said, 70s, different time, different place. The rules have changed, my friend.
Yeah, they just don't make movies like this anymore. And for good reason, because this movie just is terrible.
No, Trent, this movie is incredible. It's just also incredibly bad when you're looking at it today, because this is a movie that was written and performed by, okay.
No, say it. No, this movie, I'm not going to edit this out.
It wasn't written by children.
Acted by children, directed by children,
okay, maybe,
for children.
Maybe it was written by children, because the stilted way these kids talk and the way some of the adults act, I wouldn't put it past them. Because there are times where it's just like, I don't know, Tommy. It's like, what, Tony? Not Tony. I don't know, Tony. It's just something about the past. It's a secret thing, and the vision is gone now. Like, the way they deliver it is so, like,
It's
strange.
very matter of fact. And then, it is the power of suggestion. Nearing the end, when they're at the hotel, they're just waiting around for something. Nothing happens. But then Tony thinks, oh, there was something to do with the phone book. Then he brings out the phone book and he dials 3 digits.
Three random digits.
I thought he was dialing 911.
And listen, I know this is after we instated, actual, like, area codes and things. Like, no phone number is 3 digits. I don't even, did we have 911?
Of course we had 911.
In the 70s? When did that start?
We probably had 911 and 411 and we didn't have 511.
So did he
we
dial?
We certainly didn't have 811.
Did he
Call
dial
before you dig, everybody.
411? Is that what he dialed?
I don't know.
Because he only dialed. It's like this phone was only connected to one place. Like, it doesn't matter what number you dial.
Yeah.
They're going to pick up here.
Maybe that's why there's nobody working here.
It's all a front. It is
right.
It is a front for
It's a
the
front
space
for witches.
aliens.
The space witch alien orphanage.
Listen, we're getting ahead. We're getting way ahead of ourselves because, of course, they smuggle into the Winnebago with Eddie Albert, who is playing Jason O'Day. And Eddie Albert is, at this time, kind of a living legend. He's one of those guys who was in a lot of musicals. He was in Oklahoma, is the thing that I always knew him from growing up.
Okay.
Kind of a comedic legend. And this man, who is, like, fronting himself as a grumpy old loner,
Right.
discovers these 2 children in the back of his Winnebago with a cat. And his first instinct is, get out of my Winnebago. But then he completely softens in a second.
Because they look hungry?
Because they look sad. They look like sad orphans. So he says, oh, well, I'll make you some breakfast before you go. They tell him this insane story about how they've basically about to be kidnapped and they escaped. And this is the story. And he just goes along with it. Everything they say, he goes, that makes a lot of sense.
Sure.
He loses his keys on the beach. They start the motor with their minds, and he doesn't have a meltdown. He doesn't have a freak out. He just goes, well, that's kind of weird. And then the cat appears with the keys in its mouth, and he just has a chuckle. Oh, you kids.
Betsy, I am chalking this up to that girl is influencing his mind, and that's why he's completely nonplussed by this whole thing.
Because as they tell him more and he sees more, like they get pulled over by the motorcycle cop and they start up the motorcycle and launch it off a cliff. And he's just like, oh, I ought to keep you kids around. We'll go to the lake and go fishing.
Again, I feel like that is what's happening here.
But by the end of the movie, he's like parting ways with them, and they have just admitted they are space aliens.
Yeah, he sees it for himself.
And even before then, they're like having memories, and they say, why did we say our last name was Castaway? Well, it's because our ship sank. And this box that I carry around, this case, it's the symbol
Star
of
case.
our planet. And it's the symbol of where we're from. It's
Right.
not a city. It's not a country. It's a place, a planet with 2 suns.
Seriously, Betsy, when she said PL, I thought that she was gonna say planet. And she does, is the next fucking sentence.
When you out loud said, I thought for a second she was going to say planet
Seriously.
before they said it,
Yeah.
I was like stifling my laughter because, of course, I know they're space aliens. And then not 10 seconds later, he says, we're from a planet. And you're like, oh, fuck you.
It's not of this solar system.
No, and the planet was dying, and the only industry that was left.
They have industry on their other fucking planet,
well,
Betsy.
not anymore because the planet's gone.
The only thing, they put all of their resources into spaceships, and
Yes.
just one of them happened upon Earth, and there are other children, but there's only one adult, but all of the adults are old white-haired men.
Who they thought drowned at sea but can talk to sharks.
Oh.
That could have been like an uncle joke. But here's my question. They keep calling him Uncle Benet. Uncle Benet saved us. He gave us the star case. He's the one who taught us. And we didn't speak English. We had to learn this language.
Right.
Why are they with him? So they were orphans before they left their planet?
Orphans forever, Betsy.
Because they have no mention of their parentage.
Their parents probably died in the spaceship mines.
Oh, no. It's the only industry. It is the global industry.
Right.
And we are killing the planet with the one industry we have. So now we're forced to use the industry to flee the planet. This is getting so dark.
I love
So
this,
quick.
though. Oh.
But they made it to Earth, and one of the ships landed, and they set up a little colony up in the mountains, and they call it Witch Mountain.
Witch Mountain?
Witch Mountain?
No, Witch Mountain.
Yeah, Witch Mountain.
Witch Mountain.
Never gets old. And on their way, one of the spaceships crashed in the ocean, and everybody else on the ship died.
Right.
They just passingly say everyone else on the ship drowned at sea.
And they assume that Uncle Whatever also died because he was in the water. But then at one point, you also see the flashback of the kids getting rescued by some other fishing boat.
A kindly old couple with a fishing boat who
Right.
happens to be their foster parents, if you didn't notice that.
No, I didn't.
Because they say it's a trawler, a fishing trawler, like Uncle Malone had.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just kind of a passing line, but I'm pretty sure
Jesus.
the old couple that is like holding them in their arms is the couple that like adopted them effectively.
I have a question.
Hit me, Trent.
How old do you think these kids actually are?
The
Relatively speaking. No. These actual kids. How old are they in their space ages?
Ooh, you know,
Because, it's very possible that they have been on this planet for a very, very long time, and they're just children for a long time. Or they don't age on this planet.
is that why their foster parents are dead?
Yeah. Yeah.
They have aged out the elderly people, and so now they're alone again because they don't age as quickly. Ooh.
Yeah. That white-haired man is not long for this world.
But he is also not of this world.
Not anymore.
No.
They flew the coop.
Yeah, they ultimately found what they were looking for, but there's just this string of events I'm finding very suspicious. They had no parents before they left their planet because an uncle had to bring them to Earth. Their foster parents die, and then, you know, like you said, how old are these kids? That's a great question because they might
speak like they're adults, Betsy.
they're very mature for their ages. They're very mature. But here's the thing. They're supposed to be like a couple years apart. Like he says something about she was 3, so now she's like 8 and he's 10 or something. I'm pretty sure in the remake that I saw, they're playing twins.
It makes sense that they're twins.
Yeah, I
Because
think
then they would both have the powers.
I think they changed the rules a little bit in the remakes where they're the same age because it just makes more sense.
It does.
Because it makes so much sense in this one
Well,
that they have powers at all.
Of course.
But yeah, we're treated to just some glorious sequences in this movie.
Yeah.
I think my particular favorite, apart from, you know, speaking to horses that are wild and she manages to tame the unbroken horse, and the bear that she sets free, and the dogs that she tames and sends them back against the bad guys.
Yep.
But you know, I think my favorite moment has to be when the Winnebago flies.
Oh, that little moment.
That little moment. They're just about up to the top of the mountain, and there's a disembodied voice telling Tony what to do. And they're just trusting this. They're going up. The bad guys are behind them. The bad guys are in front of them. What are they going to do? They've been cut off, and all of a sudden, up in the air they go. And this is like the single worst looking thing in this movie.
Special effect.
It is like they took footage of the Winnebago on actual film, cut it out with a pair of scissors, stuck it on the other film, and just like scooted it along.
There is a lot of rotoscoping in this movie, and it starts at the very beginning. And because this is a 1970s movie, you get the credits way at the beginning of the movie. Everything is at the very beginning. You get the cast, the crew, the
director,
the
the music.
notices. It's directly out of the 1970s. So during this entire credit sequence, you have the rotoscoped children running. And then you also have the animated outlines of dogs chasing them the entire way.
Yeah, they're basically telling you the plot of the movie in the credits.
They're escaping.
They're escaping.
To which mountain?
Which mountain?
Which mountain?
Yeah, which mountain?
Which mountain?
I'm so sorry, listeners.
Never going to get old.
But yeah, the Winnebago can fly.
Right.
The Winnebago can fly.
Yeah,
and they're just acting like that's normal.
It's that, and it's probably a couple of other scenes here where they're clearly like trying to meld a couple of these scenes together. Well, like when they're on the Winnebago and they're driving, but then it's clearly not real footage out the back of the Winnebago
or the front of the Winnebago,
out the side, anything like that.
Those are when they're on a sound stage and you're just like holding a wheel, rapidly swinging it left to right.
But Betsy, besides the Flying Winnie, why didn't they call this movie The Flying Winnie?
We could always change it for them.
But no, Betsy, my favorite scene is when they're driving this Winnebago and a bike cop pulls them over.
Yes,
and
he
they
does.
pull over off the side of the road along the California coast because, of course, this movie is filmed all in California. They stop on this beautiful pull-off section. The cop gets off his motorcycle, puts up the kickstand, goes over there, but then the kid uses her mind powers to put the kid... Was it the girl or the guy? It doesn't matter.
I think in this scene it was the kid with his harmonica.
Fine. He uses his harmonica to put the kickstand up, start the engine, and drive it off the cliff. And of course, this entire time, this cop is not reacting whatsoever. He hasn't said a word. He doesn't really emote. He barely even looks at it.
He's just looking at it strangely like, that's kind of funny.
He doesn't pull his gun. He doesn't say anything to the driver. He doesn't try to do anything.
He doesn't try to stop the motorcycle from going off the cliff.
I mean, I understand if you might be a little bit surprised by such a thing happening. But yeah, he does nothing. He's just standing there with his dick in his hand as they drive away.
Yeah. What's he going to tell the sergeant? What's he going to tell the captain?
That's what I said.
What's he going to tell his boss?
What is he going to tell his boss? That I was on a routine traffic stop. They were going, 5 miles over the speed limit.
There was an APB out for this vehicle.
For all Winnebagos.
And it was matching the description, so I was going to pull him over.
Yeah.
And then a kid with a harmonica sent it shooting over a cliff.
And you couldn't even say that. Like, all of a sudden, as I was approaching the Winnebago, my police motorcycle thing started up and drove off the cliff.
There's a lot of cops that need to explain some things in this movie. Like when they actually get to this town where Jason's brother supposedly lives, he says, okay, you split off. I'm going to take these guys on a goose chase. Go find my brother. But the cop finds them first and locks them up in the jail.
Because, you lock kids up in jail.
Yes.
That's not against the law.
Nope. The sheriff confiscates their harmonica, their fancy shiny purse, locks them in the prison cell, and goes about his day. And they escape because she uses her mind powers to get the harmonica all the way from the front to the back where the cells are.
On a string.
On a string that you could definitely not see at all. She unlocks the cage. Again, seems like your sister's doing a lot of the heavy lifting here.
Yep.
They get out. The little boy flies.
He floats up about 2 feet.
He floats up so he can see through the bars and starts playing his harmonica. And you were screaming at this point because the cop does not hear him playing the harmonica.
Right.
10 feet away from him. He's blissfully ignorant of this glorious music emerging.
I guess in the high country, as it were, that you can just hear harmonicas everywhere because it was 1975.
I guess. But this sequence, the little boy uses a broom, a coat on a coat rack, and a hat, and he makes a fake man that attacks this cop. And another glorious moment in this movie is when we are given the first-person perspective
I didn't know I needed this.
of a coat attacking a sheriff. We are in the first-person perspective of the coat.
Yeah.
And then the coat expands with air in a way that makes no sense for the design of the coat and explodes onto the cop, leaving him with a debilitating lifelong fear of coats.
Of all of that. Of hats, of coats, and of coat racks. Oh.
As I said, this is the greatest movie I've ever seen. It's the greatest movie Disney's ever made. This movie, I don't know. I didn't look into it if this was successful, but I'm assuming it was very successful.
I assume it was because you have all these special effects, Betsy, and you have these kids who are just, the magic orphan trope.
It's the kind of movie kids go nuts for.
Yeah.
It's kids with powers.
Yeah.
So I completely get it. And they're making the adults look like fools.
Yeah.
There is a whole genre of these movies. And this is just one from the 70s that when you're looking at it today, you're like, what the absolute fuck is this movie? Because at the end of the movie, they make it to Witch Mountain.
Of course.
And Uncle Benet is alive. And they leave the cat, which we need to talk about that cat before we get too far down
that
this
darn
road.
cat.
But they leave the cat because they know the cat can't go to space.
It's just a weird sentence
Shut
you
up.
just said.
Let me finish. I have to finish. They go over a hill and then emerge in a spaceship, and the three of them are just waving to Jason out the
Bye,
front
Jason.
window. And then they fly over the hills, and all of the rich guys are down there going, I knew there was something really peculiar about those kids. But after they leave, the spaceship comes back for a second.
Right.
Why?
Just to have another wave? I don't
But
know.
it doesn't happen. It's just like hovering there and then flies into the mist.
They had another $35 in the budget so they could afford to do that.
And then Jason's just like, you kids. And then the end.
Right.
Like the end. The movie is over.
Well, like, there's even a moment there where Jason says, or he finds out, there are other kids on planet Earth that are separated from your entire group. I'm going to dedicate the rest of my life to going off and finding these kids and bringing them there. So you're going to go off and kidnap a bunch of orphans? Dude.
Yes, he is.
What the fuck?
The creepy man in the Winnebago is going to be stealing children and taking them to Witch Mountain.
Oh, I just would like to applaud. That entire thing.
Oh my God. Yeah. So let's, like I just said, we have to talk about Winky the cat.
Sure.
So they're at the orphanage at the beginning, and the red-headed bully truck steals her space case or whatever she keeps calling it. He's like, well, if you want it, you better come and get it. But the kids do not intervene. Instead, a black cat comes out of nowhere, leaps at this child, knocking the case out of his hands. And then when they go and get on the bus, they pick up the case and they go and say thank you to the cat. And the cat winks at them.
Yep.
And so they named the cat Winky.
Winky.
And Winky just moves into the orphanage with them.
Sure. And of course, like that little scene where the cat winks at him is just footage of a cat blinking, but then they reverse it a couple of times. They just go back and forth in that footage to make the cat looks like
No, Trent,
Joe.
that cat is absolutely winking. This is some bullshit. If you're trying to tell me that cat didn't really wink,
That's what I'm telling you.
nothing I believe. I don't believe anything you're saying. I don't. I refuse to believe it. Winky is an incredible cat actor and definitely wanted to be held by that child as it is desperately
All of them.
squirming.
I don't know if everybody knows this, but usually cats don't like to be held. At least for not that long.
Not in like a really tight, like she is like holding his legs.
Yeah.
So he cannot
That's a problem.
escape. And I'm sure she was told to do that because they needed to get this shot.
Yeah.
And the rest of the time, it's mostly just, holding the cat and it's fine. But yeah, this cat is apparently hyper intelligent and can like go and stop the guard because the guard is allergic to cats and the cat is smart enough to know he's allergic to cats.
Okay. As long as we're in this guard shack, Betsy, I don't know if you know this, but I don't think gates are controlled by a big lever.
Yes, they are.
I've never been to a gated community, so I don't really know for sure.
Crushing my dreams.
Oh.
It is a man who is allergic to cats pulling a lever. That's how gates work. But yeah, there's just lots of little moments where like the cat knows that the bad men with the gun are coming.
Right.
And the cat jumps out of the Winnebago, climbs a tree, and like ninja leaps onto the man with the gun, knocking the gun out of his hand.
Yeah.
The cat was smart enough to do that. Are we to believe this is just a hyper-intelligent cat, or do we perhaps believe that just like there are other space orphans on planet Earth, that perhaps there are some kind of space cats that are their protectors and know where they are and help them on their journey?
Oh, you went there.
I'm going there because I'm sorry, I have seen my cats. They're dumb as fuck.
No, Betsy, I believe Tia is the one controlling this cat.
So Tia actually is controlling the cat and the cat is just a vessel?
Yes.
Oh, now I feel bad for the cat because he doesn't deserve that. She doesn't deserve that. The cat needs free will. Stop dragging his ass around the countryside. At least now, you know, that these space kids are gone, you'll get a life of luxury with the man in the Winnebago who is kidnapping other children.
I love
Tuna and all the milk you can drink.
I love the idea of this man. This is a really strange thing to say, but I love the idea of this man going around the world, not just the country, but the world, kidnapping children
in
that
his
he
flying Winnebago.
that he believes might be space children, orphans.
Okay, this is the first I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard. Oh, this is the greatest day of my entire life.
Okay, I'm going to take over here because Betsy is incapacitated. One last thing I wanted to mention, the actual best joke in this movie was when they were filling out their paperwork, because you know when children have to fill out paperwork.
When you drop the kids at the orphanage, they are required to fill out their own paperwork.
But no, they have to write down like what they like. Like, what are your interests?
Yeah, their
And when
interests.
and one of the sections is sports. And Tia asks her brother to say, well, what should I put down for sports? Because clearly I'm a girl and girls don't play sports, Betsy. Not in 1975.
No, they wear bell bottoms and hang out with cats.
No, but the actual good joke is, oh, yeah, no, just put down spectator.
I love that.
That's a great joke.
Yeah, what kind of sport do you like? I'm a spectator.
I like to watch.
That is me. Right there, folks. That we've just nailed it. I'm going to use that in the future. What kind of sport do you like? Put spectator. Oh my God.
One more thing that I wanted to point out, we have to mention the end of the movie when the flying Winnebago is up there. Magically, the helicopter that has the rich guy in it somehow turns upside down.
It's the other space guy messing with the rich man in the helicopter.
Yeah.
So the helicopter is able to continue to fly.
Yes.
Upside down.
Speaking of the rotoscoping, that I think looked even worse than the Winnebago flying.
It looked incredible, and you're just judging.
It almost looked animated. It looked that bad.
Yeah, I don't know what they were using for this, but
I don't know. But that's not my point here. My point is they actually put a real helicopter upside down and it was spinning.
They had to land.
Right.
And the physics of how helicopters work. One, when it's upside down, it can keep flying. And two, it can land on the blades without incident.
Clearly.
So they land with a thud, and then the rich man is spinning upside down.
But that's the thing. They really did that. They didn't land that way.
No.
They just turned it upside down.
You just hear a noise as you're looking at the faces of the people reacting to
that's
this.
a real helicopter that is upside down spinning.
It was a funny effect.
Yes.
Yeah, they got the physics right. If the blades stop, something has to spin.
Right.
Oh, this movie's incredible. This is the greatest gift the Wayback Machine has given us so far.
Is it though?
It is. No, it is. I will always remember the joy and the tears and the laughter that we've shared. But Trent, it is time once again to leave 1975.
Yeah, I need to push all these children out of my way so I can get the fuck out of here.
We need to fire up the Wayback Machine and see where it takes us next.
All right, let's go again.
Okay, getting my bearings here. There's another marquee. We're right in front of a theater. It's very convenient, this Wayback Machine.
Yeah, thanks, Wayback Machine.
And there is a line around the block. And do you hear that, Trent? Do you hear that sound?
I mean, no.
I believe that is the sound of music.
Okay, so music can be anywhere, Betsy. What kind of music are you talking about?
Well, it seems to be April 1965.
Oh, fuck.
And the theater right here
I know what's happening.
has a marquee that says starring Julie Andrews
Oh, no.
and Christopher Plummer.
Fuck me.
That's right. It's the #1 movie from April of 1965. It's The Sound of Music.
Oh, boy, Betsy. You just hit the jackpot here because I've never seen The Sound of Music before. And I don't remember the last time we've covered a musical, so yeah.
So let's do it. Let's go watch The Sound of Music. So come back for April for the next episode of The Wayback Machine. Until then, my name's Betsy.
And my name's Trent.
And we'll see you then.
Bye.